Hi, and welcome back to Connect Through Beauty. I am Ashley Rivera, and today we have the co-founders of Canvas Me, Jen and Matt Martinelli. Oh my goodness, guys, you are in for a treat. Oh my gosh, they have such amazing passion for this industry. Their energy is just incredible. And I am just so thankful that our company is a part of the platform because it really has elevated the beauty professional, has been such a game changer for recruiting. And the whole journey that they're going to take you through is amazing. So I want you to listen in and enjoy.
Off, I just want to say thank you so much for having us on here today, Ashley. It's been so amazing working with you and how progressive you guys are. So we're so grateful to be working in alignment with you.
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think one of the reasons why Canvas Me is so successful with Lords and Ladies is because I think you truly understand what it takes to recruit young artists and what it takes to really market your career opportunities and your businesses. And it's just to have you supporting what we're doing on Canvas Me has been tremendous. So kudos to you as well.
Yeah. So in terms of how we got started, Matt and I are a husband and wife team. We are Canvas Me. Our first rodeo working together in the beauty industry. So we previously held high roles at a different company, a software company, before founding Canvas Me. And at our time there, we spent many years. I was at this company for about 15 years. Matt was there for 8 years. We spent many years working on the business side of beauty. So empowering thousands of beauty businesses, beauty, barber, wellness businesses, across 32 countries. We would leverage technology and empower them to better their businesses. And so one of the things we took away from that experience for all that time was a lot of these beauty, barber, wellness business challenges, right? And some of that challenge and a lot of that challenge was every day we got the phone call. This is all great. I'm growing my business. I'm thriving. I'm getting more clients through the door, but I need to hire new staff. How can I hire a new employee? Where do I go? What are some of the strategies you recommend? And we had some answers for them at the time, but it was nothing that was a turnkey, easy answer. And we thought to ourselves, gosh, like in this day of technology, when we're constantly leveraging technology to order sandwiches, cars, we're pushing one button and we have, things at the doorstep. How do we not have a turnkey, easy solution to recruitment? Right. And not that to be turnkey and easy, but how do we not have a platform where we're humanizing and uniting professionals with business owners to find the right work home? Because we knew a lot of the challenges stems from not hiring the right cultural fit because we can't get the word out. There is no community to share. So we're not getting people in droves. And even if we are, they're not the right people. We're hiring at a desperation. They end up not being a cultural fit. They take down some of the culture that we built up, right? And now we might have 2-3 employees leave because they're not happy, right? And this became a cyclical thing. And Matt and I just got so frustrated hearing and listening to these poor business owners who had risked their whole lives and built up this amazing business, all, risk everything based on a bad hire. And so we ended up pursuing one of our dreams was to be entrepreneurs, but more so, I actually went through a purpose discovery exercise that made me come to the realization that my purpose in life was to give people a voice and to give them a sense of belonging. And it was this really long, amazing exercise. But what it got me to realize is on so many levels, I was playing really small. And so it helped me find the courage and the deep burning desire that I had to give people a voice and give them a place of belonging. Because as a child, my mom had me really young. She had me at 17. My dad pretty much exited my life when I was a kid. And so my immigrant grandmother raised me. So I spent most of my young childhood with my grandmother. And there were so many moments in my life where I witnessed where my grandmother didn't have a voice because she didn't speak the language like everybody else did. So I witnessed her dismissed completely, like, oh, forget it. I can't communicate with you. And so therefore I formed a belief that I didn't have a voice at a really young age. And more so because I grew up in a different family dynamic and my parents weren't really around. And I was in this immigrant, family, different dynamic, living with my grandmother or my aunts, right? I always felt like I didn't belong. Like I was this complete outcast for the rest of the world. And taking myself through this exercise of understanding where these beliefs came from really helped me realize that I was showing up in the world. Not only was I sabotaging my success, but I was realizing that it was my life's purpose to give people a voice and give them a sense of belonging, because that was what I lacked as a kid. And so once I realized that, I thought, well, hey, if we build a platform or a tool that can maximize the voice of the student and the voice of the professional on a massive scale to help them find their place of belonging from a career perspective, I was like, that would serve my purpose on a massive scale. And so Matt and I ended up quitting our jobs, leaving our cars, our house. We risked everything. We had 2 small children. We ended up moving from New Jersey to California to live with my mom so that we can self-fund Canvas Me and get this passion company up and running so that we can empower the world of beauty with a voice to find their sense of belonging. And so that was a couple years ago. We've never turned back. And today we're happily back at our own home. Kids have their own rooms. For 2 years, we slept in the same bedroom. It was a lot of hard decisions. So hard when I was fueled by this inner desire to really make change and really empower the world of beauty to be seen. So I know it's kind of a long story, but that is really kind of what really led us to this point. And today we're working with hundreds of cosmetology schools. We're working with some of the biggest brands in beauty. We're hitting about 25,000 members on our platform. So doing some really cool, exciting things, beyond our wildest dreams. And it's just been such an amazing ride.
Oh my gosh. You know what? I honestly never really heard the whole story. So that was awesome. Thank you so much for sharing that, because I feel like we as creative people, we are emotional, we pour everything we have into what we do, no matter what it is. And I truly feel like this industry, that people that get into the beauty industry have a journey and they've been somewhere, life has affected them in some way. And we all have this burning desire to help other people. And I feel like going through something like that and then overcoming it and seeing the other side and really bursting through the ceiling and getting the success that you really deserve and you desired is amazing. And I feel like we work alongside of professionals right now, service providers, that definitely have that wall up. They definitely have a yeah. And like, I see it in retail sales. I see it in the confidence level of talking to someone in a confident way and really giving them exactly professionally what that client is wanting. So what I love is that we brought Jen into our company a little bit ago, and she gave us amazing tools. And Jen Groover, you guys, is linked up with Canvas Me, and she really gave tools to reach down deep, find what's going on, what are these blocks in your life, and kind of like letting them go so you can move forward in your career, in your life. And working through those things, I feel like that's what makes you successful.
Yes, 100%. And I think we become the sum of the stories we tell ourselves. And so for the longest time, I lived in this victim story that I was sharing about my life where, I felt like I didn't have a mentor as a child because my grandmother was figuring things out. And I felt like because I didn't have a mentor at such a young age or guidance from my parents, I felt like I wasn't as smart as the other kids. I felt like I wasn't going to be as successful as the other kids. And that became my story. And that became the life I lived because I justified why everybody else was surpassing me. And so part of what we love to do at Canvas Me is how do we transform that victim story that's holding us back and sabotaging our success into this story of victory and empowerment, and really identifying what those beliefs are that are holding you back, because we see it all day. We work with, thousands at the student level. They have worthiness issues. They feel like they're not good enough. And really at the bottom line is your beliefs become your actions, which then therefore become your results. So if you believe you're not good enough, if you believe you can't do it, your actions will tell you not to, and therefore it shows up in your results. And so Matt and I are so passionate about not only bringing Canvas Me as a platform to this industry, but really kind of helping people break through, transform their story, transform their lives, and really see themselves at their highest level of potential.
Yeah.
And that's also why, we partnered with Jen Groover and we're bringing her into this industry, is because, she changed our lives. And that's the goal, right? That's what we want to do, is change lives and make everybody realize their maximum potential.
Yeah, I think Jen has been a critical, very critical addition to the Canvas Me team. I think, yes, the platform is cool and the platform will allow people to find new opportunities. But if you can't show up in the best version self, you're never going to be happy, right? And we really start to educate students at a very young point in their career around the mindset piece, around emotional intelligence, because again, we want to help bring strong, independent, amazing humans into this industry. And it starts at the student level. And the better they feel about themselves, the more confident and stronger they are, the better employees they're going to be, the better stylists they're going to be, the better estheticians they're going to be. And so it's not just about finding your job, but it's about finding your job and being able to show up as the best possible version of yourself.
Yeah. And I think too, in a service-based industry, right? I think, when you're servicing guests, it's not just about, the actual service. It's really about how they feel when they leave your chair, and really coaching and educating them on these mindset strategies. We say all the time, success is 80% mindset and 20% strategy, right? So how do we coach them to understand what these mindset strategies are, so that we can make those people in our chair feel even better? It's not really 100%. Yes, it's about the actual haircut, right? Or the actual service we perform. But at the end of the day, it's also about how we feel. And so that's really a big component of what we talk about.
And what I love about what Jen does is she really dives into each employee and she asks them, like, what do you want more of? Right? Everybody's definition of happiness or success is different. And I think as small business owners, it's sometimes hard to tap into that. Everybody's super busy. Everybody has jobs. Everybody has responsibilities. How are you really identifying what's going to make every one of your employees the happiest version of themselves? And some people might want to be traveling artists. Some people might want to own a salon someday, but some people might want to be the best mom or dad they can be. That might be their. And then again, it's your job as a leader, as a business owner, to tap into that and make sure you're providing those types of environments. And I think that's what Jen Groover brings to the table.
Yeah. And I think as an employee, I'm forever indebted to you as a business owner, as a leader, as a coach, because you brought this into my life. And that's the goal, really, is to bring this community together through this type of mindset.
Oh, absolutely. I have seen so many breakthroughs in our company. Just, people they get stuck, and to be a service provider in the industry and really kind of working on fumes is such a dangerous space to be in. And so when we can fill them up with bringing in motivational speakers, or, someone said something that clicked, and it just was that one, pivoting point, or it just was something that clicked and it changed their mindset, changed their perspective. And now you just see them taking off, and nothing can describe that. It's the best feeling to watch people succeed. So right now, our major focus right now as a company is to create an entrepreneurship environment for each service provider. So we are giving them as many tools as we possibly can to truly build a business within our business. And what advice would you give that person that wants to stay in that high level energy, is building their own business within a business, but, definitely needs still more encouragement? And also, how do you stay level?
So I think really it's all about, we are so passionate about mentorship. Without my mentor, Jen Groover being one of them, I would never have been at the place that I am today, right? And so we really believe in mentorship. That's why on Canvas Me, it's a big strategy of ours is to help students and professionals find their mentor, right? And apply and ask to be connected with this mentor. Mentorship is just huge. They're helping you understand these strategies. They're helping you see things that you can't. They're guiding you through the things that they've been through that they know were not right, right? You're gathering their 20 or 30 or 40 years experience all in a matter of, a couple months by just working with a mentor. So I think definitely having a mentor, somebody to coach, guide you, and hold you accountable is definitely key. I think also really always be learning and diving into these tools. I mean, when I tell you, when I started to realize and detox my life of all of the things I was doing that was sabotaging my mindset, like scrolling through Instagram and watching Netflix or staying up and binging a Netflix series till 1 a.m. and then being exhausted the next morning. When you're exhausted and when you're not eating the right foods and you're not in the right mindset, there is no way you can mentally be capable of handling some of the things that come your way in a way that's effective, right? In a way that's a positive thing. So for me is finding that mentor, but also being aware of all of the things that you're doing that's keeping you from continuously learning. I've gotten to the point where we don't watch any TV at all. We watch what we eat, we stay hydrated, but I'm to the point where, oh my gosh, there's no time, right? This is like the number one excuse you hear from everybody. There's no time to learn. I'm in the shower and I'm listening to an Audible. I'm driving to the grocery store. I'm walking through grocery shopping and I have my headphones in listening to an Audible, right? Like there's so many avenues now to stay in tune, to keep learning. And once you start detoxing of all of these things and you start to just focus on, is what I'm doing right now bringing me closer to that goal, right? Maybe my goal is to reach the next level. Maybe my goal is to increase my, client base. Maybe whatever my goal is what I'm doing right now, watching Netflix, going to Instagram, getting me to achieve my goal. And a lot of that is staying in that mindset and having the tools, like some of the stuff we're talking about here, to help you, through that when you might be feeling like, oh, this stinks. Well, what are the tools? Okay, let me pop in an Audible that makes me feel really good.
Yeah, Jen, that's a true story. I'll come home and I'm like, who's in the shower with mommy? Because she's like, she's listening to it all. What's happening? And so but also I agree with everything you just said. And I also think you have to be very conscious of what you're doing outside of the salon, right? Like I think you are who you become who you hang out with, right? And I think you have to take a deep look into who you're spending a lot of your time with. Are they positive influences on you? Are they positive in your growth? And are they allowing you to see things that are exciting, or are they bringing you down? Are they focused around drama? Like I think, when we moved to California, it was really tough because all of our family and friends were back home. And I actually think it was a huge benefit because there was zero distractions. Because we knew nobody in California and we were able to put our heads down. We were able to work. There was no drama. There was no distractions. And I think that's a big part of growth. And so be careful of who you hang out with. You want to be able to hang out with people that are more successful than you. You want to be able to hang out with people that are growing the way you want to grow. I think it's a big part of it too.
Yeah, for sure. I think definitely you are who you hang out with. So definitely be careful there. But again, right, like I even had family members that I had to be gentle with and just not answer their calls, right? Like sometimes it's hard to get away from those people, but it's like, you want to be this millionaire person revenue wise, right? But you have to be the millionaire person, right? That's willing to put it, that's willing to better yourself, that million. I think that that's a huge focus, is to really just kind of understand, be aware of what are you doing all day, and really kind of hone in on finding that mentor. And if nothing less, like in the beginning, I didn't have an actual mentor, but what I did was I turned to Audible books by some really awesome people that have done some really successful things. And they became my mentor through listening to their Audible. So there's always things you can do. I'll go to YouTube and search Tony Robbins and just listen to him for the day, and I'm pumped, So really it's just about finding that mentor, being aware, and optimizing your time, and always stay learning.
Yeah.
I love that. Because I think it's a dangerous spot where you get, if you get that stagnant space, if you get that stagnant space and you're just kind of like hanging out there, it's definitely dangerous, not only for you personally, but for your business. And And I
Yeah.
love that. So glad that you
says it best. Sorry to interrupt, but Tony Robbins says it best where he says, if you're not growing, you're dying. And if you think about it, like I mean, it's so harsh, but it's true. If you're not growing, you're dying. So, you know, even talking to our kids, like, hey, if you're not, nothing scares you this week, you haven't done anything big enough. You know, you always have to stay in that mode of like, oh man, my stomach really hurts. I'm really nervous about this thing. Well, that means you're growing, and that's a pretty awesome feeling. So just transforming those moments of like, oh, this stinks because it's hard. Well, you're growing, you know?
Absolutely. And that's really where we're at too as a company. We're coaching and mentoring on, you have the ability to wake up every day and make as much money and be as successful as you possibly want to. And to be in the beauty industry, the sky is the limit. So how can we help you get there? And I think the biggest thing is for an individual to get really clear on their goals and their intentions and what they want out of it. And then once we kind of get to that, that space there, then we really watch people grow, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I love that. I think, you know, once everything is a choice, right? Like we try to teach our kids that like everything is a choice, to be sad, to be happy, to be successful. I know people's situations could be tough, but everything I believe is a choice. So I think once people realize it, no one's going to help them. It's on them. No one's gonna no one's gonna help. We learned that pretty quick. People aren't gonna help you.
Well, not that people don't help you. It's in the essence of, I used to wait for somebody to come save me. Right. Somebody's gonna come save me, and they're gonna make me feel like I'm worthy, and they're gonna make me feel like I'm doing great. And they're gonna, like, I used to always put it on somebody else that they were gonna, it was their job to come in and save me. And then it wasn't until I realized you save yourself, right? Like you give yourself the permission to be great. You give yourself the permission to feel worthy. It's about doing that internal work that helps you get there. And so 100%, it's all about choosing your perspective at a minimum. And I love, Ashley, that you mentioned the word clarity, because it is so true. And if you asked me a few years back, Jen, what are your wishes and dreams? I might be able to tell you something, but I wasn't really clear on what that wish and dream was. Like I wasn't 100% sure what that is. So helping people get to that moment of clarity where everything makes sense, like, yes, this is exactly what it is. Because before that moment of clarity, you're just kind of floating in the wind. You know, you're just kind of like, oh, I'll go here, I'll take this job, I'll do this thing because it's here. You're not really kind of tying it back to your burning desire with that level of clarity. And once you do that, you have, you know, the mindset and you have the mentorship. Actually, you guys run an amazing, you know, business where you have these mentorship opportunities, you have these growth opportunities. I think sky's the limit, right? So, and having the belief that you can.
Absolutely. No, it truly is. And that's the thing, like we ourselves as leaders. So, right. I mean, I've been behind the chair for 11 years, but now I'm in this different spot. So, but as leaders, and to be leading and inspiring other people to want more in their life and to be successful, we have to grow too. So, you know, it's always something that we're doing and looking at them in the mirror and saying, okay, what's next? You know, are we checking in with ourselves and saying, are we on the right track? Are we following our values? Are we following our mission? And it's so easy to get off that track. It's so easy to bend. And because, you know, let's face it, we all want employees right now. and I feel a lot of the bending like is tough, but always staying true to who you are, knowing the purpose and the mission is something that I think we all just go back to. And it's funny, like we actually meet every Wednesday. We get in this room and our conference room, and we're all like, we call it the war room. And we just like have all of these ideas. And it's so funny because we always go back to the core of who we are. And it's good. It's good to go through all of that, go through all of those exercises and just get clear on, wait, this is where we're going. This is where we need to be, and to keep making sure that we evolve and grow ourselves as well as leaders.
Yes. And I can't tell you, Ashley, how many business owners we've met with that have been in business for 35 years and they're feeling like, well, I just feel stagnant and I feel old. And that's because we need to, revamp that mission, that vision, that burning desire. We need to reroot ourselves in that mission, that purpose from day one, right? It's so easy, like you said, to be an entrepreneur and you get stuck in the day-to-day grind and you're looking at strategy and you're right, rerouting ourselves in that purpose, that mission, and making sure our employees all know what the story was, how this all started, why we're doing that, what we do, right? And we saw this a lot, when businesses struggle, right? It's like a pain point is also an opportunity to transform. And they go back to their mission and they're like, wait, we did this because we love to give back. Let's look at local charities that we can partner with, right? And then they start to reinvigorate that culture. And so we work with so many businesses that are trying to, work on their recruitment strategy. And it's like, well, why, we really need to nail home what that reason is, what that purpose is, what that mission is, because it can't just be words on a mission statement on a wall somewhere. It really truly has to come back to that deep purpose and the reason why you make the decisions you make, because that story is the story that this next generation wants to hear. That's the story that they'll champion behind. And that's the reason why they're going to come work for your business. Yeah. And so just reminding ourselves to constantly go back to that. And actually that's also one of the reasons why we have Jen Gruber with us is, what is your culture assessment? How can we help you assess that culture? What is the opinion that your employees have? Is it the same opinion of your business that when you started, right? Is that the intent? And so we really help business owners get real with what that is, because it's such a critical component of not only getting clients through the door, but your recruitment strategy.
Absolutely. 100%. I can't agree more. So walk us through. So I'm a student in beauty school and Canvas Me is presented to me. Tell the listeners, like, what can I do on this platform?
Yep. So as a student, you can come to canvasme.com, and what you can do is you can create a beautiful portfolio where you're uploading videos, you're uploading imagery, you're answering some questions about your educational background, your employment history. Once you hit publish, it then acts like a website. So essentially your Canvas Me portfolio, it's a digital tool that walks you through some cool questions. You can easily upload photos right from your camera roll. You can also sync it with your social channels. So it acts like your resume, your online resume, plus your digital portfolio, because it is very image heavy. It will serve us as creatives. And then it acts like your website. So anybody that you share the link with will have access. So we are really passionate about empowering that person from a small town that thought they never in a million years would have the opportunity to work with a big brand in New York City or LA or wherever, right? Chicago. And so you can be seen on a national level once you publish your portfolio. You can share your link. You can also browse career opportunities on Canvas Me, where you can watch videos of the businesses. You can get a behind the scenes look. You can see imagery. It's not a job board. They can actually get really, really intimate with the business owner in terms of watching video and their mission and vision and their culture. And if they love this opportunity, they can click apply with a click of a button and they're done.
Yeah. When we do our school onboardings, we onboard around 5 to 8 schools a week. And what's cool about it is that, as we kick off the session, I'll say to them, I say, raise your hand if you have a Word doc resume, and half of them will raise their hand. Then I'll say, keep your hand up if you liked creating that Word doc resume, and they all put their hand down. Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
They don't feel comfortable. They don't know how to really show up as a dynamic creative on a Word doc resume. So when we show them the difference, they're like blown away. And then when I'm like, when I show them, student portfolios as examples, I'm like, think about applying to the job of your dreams with a Word doc resume or a Canvas Me portfolio. And they're like, yeah, no, I get it. And we're meeting these young artists where they are in their life. And that's leveraging technology. And that's leveraging something that is going to allow them to do things that scare them, like marketing and branding. They are scared about that. They're not sure how to stand out in a very progressive industry, in a very flooded industry of a lot of talented people. Their Canvas Me portfolio will do that. And then again, like Jen said, getting noticed and building your network. Like we have mentorship opportunities, we have scholarship opportunities where they can apply for things before they even graduate and build their network and learn from people. And that's really what Canvas Me is about.
Yeah. So again, once you build your portfolio, it's a free tool for the student and the professional. Once they build the portfolio, it's really a matter of being seen, right? Back to my vision, and my vision of why we started this is being seen and finding their place of belonging and helping them level up at every level of their career through this beautiful portfolio. Because for the longest time, we were underserving our creative industry with a Word doc resume. And so now we have the opportunity to watch their videos, right? And to connect with them before they graduate, because it's a digital tool, it's a community, right? I can see them before they graduate. I can see their progression through school. But also the point that we really are passionate about is we can humanize them. And so when you're words on a Word doc resume, it's like, oh, okay, this is, you know, checks all the boxes in terms of like what we need her to be or him to be. But you know, who are they as people? Because at the end of the day, we hire humans that fit our culture. And so we shorten the vetting process in that as a student, you can upload a portfolio that includes a video from yourself talking about what your values are, what you're passionate about, what you hope to do when you graduate, the kind of environment you're looking to get yourself into. What are some of your goals for the next 3 years? You can say all that through video, which these digital natives, that's what they're used to, right? They're used to this social networking, this social, you know, video myself, publish it. And so they're putting that right on their portfolios so that as business owners, we're able to see the human that they are, how they show up, and does that match my culture?
Yeah, we share examples of those types of videos on our platform. And I'll say to them, I'll say, who's nervous about going on interviews? And they all raise their hand. And I'm like, you can literally get rid of that first interview by just uploading a 30-second clip when you're comfortable in your own home by yourself, showing up in the way that you want to show up, and say all the things that you would be asked on that first interview. And they're like, oh my God, like it's a light bulb goes off.
But also connecting with the business owner, or, you know, it doesn't have to be a business owner. This could be a brand educator opportunity, right? This could be any opportunity, but connecting with the person on the other end of that opportunity through digital tools is where this generation is at. They don't want to be the first time they meet you, and they don't want to feel uncomfortable going into your salon, spa, wherever your, you know, location for the first time being on that first interview. They want to connect with you through leveraging digital tools. And so this gives that student the opportunity to show up as their best version selves on the portfolio, and then connect digitally and message back and forth with the business or whoever it is to build that connection digitally, to then meet in person and feel that level of comfort, feel that level of connection. So that first time isn't so awkward, right? That first time feels really empowering.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. And on the flip side, for myself, I love it because I don't have to do a million steps to figure out who this person is and what their personality is.
Yep.
I would get a Word doc and I would read it over, and it really didn't have many things on it. Usually the person that would be applying for us, it's their first job. So there's not a lot on there. And so quickly I'll get on social media and try to figure out, gosh, who is this person? And then pick up the phone and call them. So it's totally taking a lot out of the recruiting, for me, a lot of steps out of recruiting as an employer. And then also going even further, having our company on there and being able to tell someone who we are and what we're about is so less scary. And so, yeah, I mean, we're 7 locations. We are a big company. So I feel like, you know, it could be a little intimidating, but then, you know, they can come to this space and they can really listen to who we are. And it's been really nice. And I have to say, we get quality employees out of Canvas Me. 100.
Yeah, I agree. And I think you see a different level of candidate coming onto our platform.
Yeah.
I mean, yes, like a lot of this require their students to create portfolios, but the fact that they're taking the time to create this, to build this, they're proud of it, they're excited. Like those are the people that I want to celebrate their work and showcase their craft and who they are and their goals for this industry. That's the type of passion and growth mindset that you want to be hiring. And so just by creating a portfolio is showing value and showing a different level of candidate. We're seeing that a lot, and I'm glad you brought that up.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought up the whole social media like crazy that, we've seen businesses like, how do you find somebody on Instagram? Sometimes it's not by their first and last name. They go by a different handle. And so you're trying to search their names and like where they're located. We sync all of that right to the portfolio. So you're launching right from the portfolio. And the part of that I love is these digital natives that are graduating school are so social savvy. And what we want to empower them with is that is a marketable asset, right? That's a marketable skill that they can say, hey, I might not be technically where we need to be, right? Because we know that there's a growth when you onboard me, there's a growing path. But in the meantime, I'm a pretty awesome asset for your social strategy. We've had graduates that graduate with TikTok. They have 2 million TikTok followers because they know how to generate the content that drive people to like, watch them and follow them. Right. So we can leverage these students for these amazing assets, not just the technical skills, but we can leverage all of their, skills, including these social skills that we can highlight. And we do highlight right on the portfolio. And so, so I'm glad you brought that up, but it saves the business owner so much time. We helped place 90 national educators in less than 90 days with a couple big brands, all from one location, and they were doing it on a national level. So really, even just from a relocation standpoint, I mean, how many students or professionals we talk to that are relocating? How are they being seen before Canvas Me? And so it just really empowers you, even from a recruitment strategy of, hey, you know what? I will pay for relocation fees, or I do want an influx of people that are not from the local community to maybe bring in a different kind of energy or a different kind of perspective. So that is really what we're so passionate about.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I mean, I honestly can't say enough about you guys and this platform that has really changed the recruiting game for the beauty industry. 1000%. So, I was listening to a podcast the other day by Marie Folio. I don't know if you know her.
I love her.
I love her too. She was interviewing the founder of Netflix, Mark Randall, and he literally said something that blew my mind. And it's so simple. Don't fall in love with the idea, fall in love with the problem. And I was like, whoa. Because I feel like I'm in a space where I'm like all idea, but yet there is a problem. And you guys have totally focused your energy on a lack of and created something that has, again, impacted the beauty industry, the beauty professional, and really elevated the game. Like it really has given people this opportunity to express themselves in a way that they haven't done before. And I just love it. So I wanted to share that with you.
Yeah, no, I mean, that is so true. And I think Jen Gruber says this all the time. It's like, don't come to me with a problem unless you have a solution. And I think it's just a mindset shift, a perspective shift of, we can all sit in a room and complain about everything that's wrong. But if we all put our heads together and say, hey, there's this amazing problem that we have the opportunity to solve, well, that really just kind of changes everything. And I think even, especially as new professionals, is something to live by, because, we're at your workplace, you become, a fabric of their culture. And so part of becoming an awesome component of that culture is to have that positive mindset, not be in the room. So check ourselves and remind ourselves, like you said, through that mantra, through that quote of like, hey, you know what, let's not go to somebody with a solution. Don't know what the solution is, at least recommending like, hey, I'm happy to help you solve this problem. And, I just need some help. Right. And so how can we all be professionals? So I love that quote.
Yeah, I thought you would. I just felt like I heard it and it really resonated with me. And I was like, I'm going to share that with you guys. Because it really it was like, oh my gosh, you guys totally live by this. And I just love it. So again, thank you guys so much for doing this with me and spending some time with me. I truly appreciate it. And again, you guys have been amazing and truly inspirational.
We are so grateful for you, Ashley, and so happy for this amazing relationship and friendship. And you've been so helpful for us too. So thank you so much for just being on top of your game and taking everything to the next level. Even with this podcast, I mean, you're just pretty amazing yourself. So, so grateful. And again, your network is your net worth. So we're so happy to be connected with you. It's just been really awesome. So thank you so much.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, you guys have a fantastic day.
You too. Talk soon. Bye.
Wow is all I can say. That was so awesome. And I told you, you were going to be able to feel the passion. You were going to be able to feel that high energy. And man, I know I did, and I know that you guys did. So again, just recap, this is Canvas Me, and at Lords and Ladies, this is our platform. This is what we use. So in our bio below and in our description, we have linked up our Canvas Me about our company. So you can click on that. You can see a little bit about us. There's a ton of videos on there. There's a ton of information, links you over to our website. So definitely check it out. If you have any questions at all, please reach out to me, and I would love to keep getting connected with you.